Good night, everyone. Thank you, Devin, for that lovely introduction. Grateful to be here. Grateful to be here. So we're here to talk about transforming income into wealth. And I don't think this one is going to fight. I don't want us to be as formal as how we make it seem, right? Because we're talking about something of importance, something that will benefit everybody here. And especially when it comes on to finances, we're talking about a touchy topic where a lot of persons shy from speaking about finances. Alright, so I'm just going to ask a question here. It has nothing to do with my presentation. Who here has a will? Has a will? Alright, so she has a will. Anybody has a will? Alright, so one person has a will pending. Because having a will, that's the first form of you being serious about your wealth. Because that means that you would have already started to put plans in place to leave something for somebody. Because I'm sure everybody here knows how deadlifts go. Especially in Jamaica, deadlift is not a good thing. People fight, people kill, people war over deadlifts. So you now having a will means that you would have already made that first step in form of distributing your wealth, distributing your assets. So that's a good step. Who am I? As Devin would have told you guys, my name is Matthew Hepburn. I'm a financial advisor with Sanford. I've been an advisor with Sanford for the past 5 years. 5 lovely, productive, successful years. What I do is I provide financial services to my clients, meet clients' needs. So whatever goals is it that you may have, whether medium, short-term, long-term goals, I'm here to assist you in achieving that. So I'm not here to sell anybody any products. I'm just here on an information basis. Because I'm sure everybody here has your financial advisor, right?
No.
Okay, so I know David has his financial advisor. I'm sure everybody else, you have your personal financial advisor who deals with the entire financial portfolio, right? Okay, he said
Jesus.
If you get a new client, you have that first one.
I'm only here for information purposes, right? But feel free to, we can have a question and answer session after this, right? So we're here to talk about financial security tools, investment, retirement planning, and life insurance. Right? Who knows what an investment is? Who here has some form of investment? Okay. You want to tell me what you think an investment, what an investment is based on your understanding?
Oh, but an investment is using some money where you put the seed to work for that.
You put it to sleep or you put it to work?
Well, you put it to work, but you never.
Or you put it to work while they sleep?
Yeah, while you sleep.
Alright, and that's pretty plain and straight. So really making money work for you. That's a pretty plain and straight definition of what an investment is. Right? So an investment is an asset or an item that is purchased with the hope that it will generate some income. Right? So we call it a wealth creation tool because with an investment, that's a form of wealth creation for you. Right? And it's really growth on your money. Right? So a lot of persons might say, oh, I have money in a savings account. Right? Statistically, the most interest rates that you're going to get on a bank account is 0.5%. If we're supposed to even factor in inflation, now inflation is the devaluation of your money. I'm sure everybody can feel inflation every day, right? Because what you could buy with $100 10 years ago, that could buy a patty and probably chains. A patty now costs little over $200, right? So that's how money has been inflated and has been devalued. So when you put your money into an investment instrument, you know that you're putting your money to work. There's some growth that you're expected to get on your money. You know, it's alright, today I put out $10, I probably put it into various investment instruments that we have, which is we have stocks, bonds, mutual funds. Those are the most traditional form of investment. Now, stocks, I'm sure everybody has some familiarity and heard of stocks before, right? I'm not talking about when you're stocking up your house for a hurricane. A stock is when you buy a piece of a company, and when I say buy a piece of a company, not a literal piece, but a share in the company. So now you're a shareholder of a company, and based on how that company performs at the Jamaica Stock Exchange, perform good, that is reflected, the stock price go up, you make money. Buy a stock, Fontana stock today, that's a very popular stock. I'm sure everybody here would have shopped at Fontana at some point in time. Alright, you know you buy a Fontana stock today for $10. Next week you see it gone up to $20, you want to double. Right, so those are different forms of investments. Similar with bonds and mutual funds. Now on the safer side, a mutual fund will benefit you in the long run, especially if you're not that investment savvy. Investment savvy meaning that you're not following up with the stock market, you don't really know what's going on. You don't want to personally buy and sell your stocks because you're not really knowledgeable like that. So we say, alright, let's just pool everybody money together. So I take 10 grand from David, take $2,000 from Sister P over there. We take our next 10 grand from him. So everybody money is pooled together into one fund. And then what we do with that fund is how we invest that money. So we just invest your money for you. So that's what we call mutual funds. So everybody has a similar interest into the fund. And then we just invest that money for you. And then based on how we invest the money, how it performs, that's reflected on your portfolio. So that's a safer form of investments as opposed to stocks. And then we have real estate, who here own a property. Okay, so we have a couple homeowners. So you know that real estate is also a form of investment because that's the only thing that don't make any more land. Land is the only thing that don't make any more. So once you have a piece of land, you have a piece of property, that is a form of investment because the value of your property will only appreciate unless, God forbid, a river just automatically start running through your land or somebody build a cemetery right beside. We know how that will cause the value of your property to depreciate. So when you have land, you have real estate, you have a piece of property, that's a form of investment as well. We have businesses. People going to business. I mean, before I even say people going to business, the main purpose of a business is to generate a profit, right? Nobody goes into business to break even. Oh, let us spend $100, must make back $100. No. You go into business to make money. You spend $100 in business, you expect to make back at least $1,000 or even $500. But you expect to make money. You expect to make a profit. So having a business is also a form of investment. And then we have retirement plans and we have insurance, which I'll go into after this, which is retirement planning. Now, retirement planning. What retirement planning is that it's financial strategies of saving, investing, and ultimately distributing money meant to sustain one's life during retirement. Anybody reached the retirement age as yet? Okay, you are in retirement age. Auntie, you look kind of young. I don't know if you reach retirement age as Alright, so we'll talk about retirement planning. After laboring all these years, nobody wants to just stop working and then the income stop. Right? With retirement planning, that's the purpose of planning for retirement. So you make steps from now. If you look at things like on the real world election, right? We have two, I don't like to go into politics, but I'm just using this as an example. Right? Election, you have two parties. Nobody knows what the future of Jamaica will be 10 years from now. But what we do is that we vote. We vote based on our current decision, who we think is right and who we see fit to lead the country for the next 10, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Right? So retirement planning, it all really boils down to you starting today, starting now, because you have to be thinking long term. No one knows, all right, little that I put down today would benefit me probably not next year, probably not 2 years ago, but later down in life, I know that, all right, I would have put my money into a same probably an investment instrument. So I know, all right, I can put them at $2 grand at one time, I put $5 grand at one time, so by the time retirement is supposed to come. Interest would have been growing at my money 20 years ago, from 20 years ago, from 10 years ago. Right? So that's why we talk about putting down money for retirement, because NIS, right? NIS, which is, I'll put it over here. So NIS really gives you a lesser percentage of what you would have been earning. So NIS, I think, to my knowledge, you can correct me if I'm wrong, pays about $40,200 every week. I'm not sure how much I was in here want to involve for $4,200 every week. Right? Because NIS really is just a social security benefit, it's not a pension plan. Right? Likewise with the children. The children is not a retirement plan.
Amen.
Okay, I get an amen in the back. Right? A lot of persons, they sacrifice and they say, all right, send the son to school, in the university now, when they get a big job, we don't work. No, child is not a retirement plan, because when that child grow up and get a family of his or her own, that's the main priority now. What plans have you put in place from all these years? What plans is it that you have put in place? Right, so you need to, and then statistically, it's only 82% of Jamaicans do not contribute to a pension plan. So that's 82% of Jamaicans don't have a plan for retirement. And I can tell you, I meet with persons on a daily basis. And the first question I ask persons is long term, thinking long term, what plans do you have for retirement? Oh, anything so far? No. That's the first red flag. You have to be thinking long term. Right? You need to know how much money will you need to survive when retirement comes based on your income. Know how much money you can live off of. If you're supposed to stop work, how long can you stop working before things get rough? Right? So that's what we talk about, putting retirement plans in place. Right? Do you have the freedom to retire now or retire early? Do you have that freedom based on your contributions or the plans that you have been putting in place? Do you have the freedom? Right? And then the impact of inflation, just as I mentioned before, inflation. What $1 million could do 20 years ago, 2004. If a man's supposed to die and leave $1 million to his family in 2004, that can bury him, send children to school, finish, pay off the house, still have money leave over for your college fund for your children. As opposed to 20 years later, what can $1 million do?
Bury him.
Can barely bury him. Right? So that's what we're talking about, putting proper financial plans in place for the unforeseen. Right? Which would lead me to the most important, life insurance. Now, Proverbs 13, verse 22 says that a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And this is something that's very passionate to me, because from first-hand experience, as I said before, I've been doing this for 5 years now, having a life insurance policy is the #1 tool to create generational wealth for your family.
sorry to say that. I know there's going to be a question and answer further before you leave out of retirement. Will you explain the repercussions of early retirement before you go? If you decide that you want to go on early retirement, what's the downside?
Alright, so when you say repercussions, you would have to decide, am I ready for an early retirement? Can I afford to retire early based on the plans that I would have to do? Not necessarily a deduction. So what we say? Alright, so first and foremost, you should be contributing to a pension plan. Right? Secondly from that, a next percentage of your income, you should allocate it to some form of investments or savings plan. We know that when you meet with your advisor, they can give you projections to say, alright, if you are saving or investing $10,000 a month, no, 20 years from now, there should be at least $8 million or $7 million that will be payable to you, factoring inflation. So those are the numbers that you want to look at to say, alright, if I do this steadily for a good 20 years, I'm going to say, alright, can take some money, can probably put in a business, can probably buy a property. And I'm going to say, alright, this will generate some form of return to me. That I say, alright, I can probably leave my work early and retire. Right, so those are the conversations that we will actually need to have before you can actually come to a decision for that. Answer your question?
Not really. I hear that if you choose early retirement, you do not get your full pension until you reach the age.
Then again, exactly, because what happens is that bear in mind that pension is actually paid out at age 60, at a particular age. So you have the option, I think, between age 60 and age 65 for pension to be paid out. In the event of you closing out a pension plan early, you are affecting now the performance of what was supposed to protect it to be. Because you're pulling out of it early. That answer your question now?
Yeah. Next question before you go to that.
Alright.
What's the concluded age of a gentleman's retirement age in Jamaica?
60.
Are you stuck to the from 70 to 65?
To my knowledge, the last understanding that I would have got is 60, at age 65. That is for male and female. That's a general cutoff age for retirement at age 65.
Sorry to disturb you.
Right. So, as I was saying, for life insurance, a good man leaves his inheritance for his children's children. And this is even deeper as I want to make it seem, because Solomon, who I'm sure everybody would have known the story of Solomon, God appeared to him in a dream. And he asked him, what is that you want to be blessed with? Solomon said, wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And God said, just for this, you never ask for riches, you never ask for wealth. I will bless you with that. With the wisdom that Solomon would have received, it allowed him to write the book of Proverbs. Right? And these are where he would have written wise words about leaving an inheritance. He would have placed an emphasis on the importance of leaving an inheritance for your children, for your children's children. And with that wisdom that he received from God, he was able to go on his way, to prosperity. Right? Now, the importance of insurance. Insurance allows you to create generational wealth. Right? Meaning that insurance provides money that wasn't there before. Right? So you live in your life, you're set up an insurance policy, God forbid, you're supposed to pass away. Funeral have to pay for, house have to pay for, children still have to go to school, mortgage still, all of those are still bills, those are debts that you're leaving to your family. Right? When on the flip side, if you have an insurance policy set up, say, alright, kind of sweat it up to this. you have an insurance policy set up. You know that, alright, if I'm supposed to pass away, my funeral is taken care of. Will my children survive or will they thrive based on the plans that I would have put in place? Right? So there's a family protection right there. It's less burden on the loved ones. I'm sure everybody have, whether it be a brother or a sister or auntie or an uncle who would have passed away, and you know, say everybody have to pitch in to help pay for funeral, help pay for this. So you having a life insurance policy, you take off that burden off of everybody. You know, say, alright, my wife shouldn't have to call nobody, I beg no money for help bury me. Church don't have to keep no special offering. I don't have to have no fish fry. There's no GoFundMe that's going to be set up because I would have put plans in place to protect my family from all of this. Right? So it covers for final expenses. Estate planning as well. A lot of persons don't know the expenses that incur when somebody dies. It is a lot. Death tax. You own a property and you never will it. Even when you will it, transfer tax is a lot of money because they charge it as a percentage of the value of the property. Right? Loans that people then leave. Oh God, you borrow $5 million from World, from NCB. Who's going to pay off those loans?
Isn't it insured against debt?
Not war. As you mentioned that, that's a good
Because if
question.
you borrow from a nation to build a property, somewhere along you have 30 years to pay off and you die before the end of that 30 years.
Then that's the creditor life, which is on the NHT loan. So just like with the life insurance policy now, as you mentioned that what most, if not all financial institutions are doing is that in order for you to get a loan from them, there has to be a life insurance policy in place. So what happened is that a life insurance policy now acts as a security for that loan. So in the event of you, as we're talking about passing away, you know, say, let's use a mortgage, which is the most used for insurance. If you're supposed to take out a mortgage, the bank is going to require that you have a mortgage based on the value. You have a life insurance policy, based on the value of the mortgage. So you have a $10 million mortgage, you have a $20 million mortgage, you need a $10 million, $20 million life insurance policy. So the bank will say, alright, we lend you $10 million today, but God forbid that Mr. Brown is supposed to pass away. We don't have to go to his wife and say, we need to continue the payment, or if you can't pay the payment, we need to come out of the house because it's ours now. That's the purpose of the life insurance policy. So it's able to safeguard the family even in the event of you not being here. You know, say debts are clear, loan pay off, who get paid. The house is still here now, which goes towards the estate, debt free. There's no loan on the property because that pay off, even though I pass away. Right? So that covers for estate planning. Now, guarding against the unfortunate in regards to insurance. Number one, critical illness. Right? Critical illness can be a killer. And when I say can be a killer, is that normally most persons who are diagnosed with critical illness, sometimes not even the critical illness kill them. It's not the critical illness, the stress, oh gosh. The stress, the change in lifestyle, because you can't afford to do this because you have to be paying for treatment. Before you even reach the paying for treatment, you can't even afford the treatment. So because proper plans were not put in place. Right? So a critical illness policy is something that can either make you or break you, given if you have it or you don't have it. Right? And I encourage everybody who I meet with, everybody who I sit in front of, I tell them about having a critical illness policy. Because a critical illness policy is the only insurance policy that's going to pay out the raw cash to you while you're alive. With a health insurance you get a health card, you can go to the doctor, you swipe. When you have a health card, when you swipe, covers a percentage of the total amount, but you still need to find money out of pocket. With a life insurance policy, you call for a life insurance policy only payable to your beneficiaries if you're supposed to die. But with a critical illness policy, you'll be diagnosed with a cancer, you get a heart attack, you get a stroke, a blindness, a major burn, paralysis, loss of speech, deafness, you name it, it's covered under a critical illness policy. So you know, it's alright. It gives me one peace of mind knowing that if I'm supposed to be diagnosed with X critical illness, then such board is in charge of that because I have an insurance policy, right? And a critical illness policy is really a financial protection tool for your entire portfolio. Imagine you would have been toiling year after year, day after day, with your savings, you're managing your expenses quite fine, maybe medical investment, you're thinking long term, but there wasn't a proper plan put in place to safeguard you if you're supposed to get sick. The moment you go to the doctor and they tell you, you have X critical illness, you need to start treatment now. All of those plans they would have had in place, you plan to buy a house, you plan to start this business, you save up all this money. All of those plans are going to be put on pause. Why? Because you need cash. You're going to clear out all of them savings that you would have. Move to try and get a makeup till you need treatment. But if a plan was properly put in place, you know that the critical illness plan would safeguard you from all of that. You don't have to touch your money. That's the purpose of you having insurance. You insure a house, you insure a car, you pay car insurance year after year. Even when we don't meet in an accident, the insurance company don't give us no little benefit from it, no claim bonus. And the moment you go meet in an accident now, the premium gone through the roof.
Protected no claim. I see them.
Okay, good to know. Alright, so we insure all of these stuff, but we are not insuring what's most important, which is ourselves. Right? I tell persons that consider yourself as an income generating tool. You go to work every day, you get your income, you manage your expenses. But in the event that something's supposed to happen to you, what's the protection for yourself? I see you have a person question around there.
Yes. Per monthly, what would you say is a minimum amount for a critical illness plan?
That's really dependent on your financial portfolio. Reason being is that insurance premiums are determined by different factors, say age, your gender, how healthy you are. So those are all. Huh?
How much you pay a month?
We can't talk
No,
about
I just
that.
want an idea of the money that I will be paying a month.
Insurance premium, especially when you're how old are you?
33.
You're 33 years old. Your insurance premium based on the coverage that you'll be getting. The coverage can range from 1 million to 100 million.
So how much am I
Right, so we're thinking about anywhere between 3,000 to 300,000 dollars. You understand what I'm saying now? Yeah, so it's really a plan that's designed for you because it's something that's going to be factored into your personal budget, your personal financial portfolio. So it's geared to what you can manage.
Before you go, questions on the critical. So you would say that I am a more high-risk person than she.
Yes, we are all good.
Very, very high.
My premium was more than her.
Yeah.
Another person about critical illness, I'm not sure what age, how old or how old you have to be.
Alright, so our critical illness policies, unfortunately, they cut off at age 60 for application. I don't know if you reach up there as Oh, okay, you caught it. Okay, good. You catch it at a good time. There's no minimal, because we have a critical illness policy that covers for children as well. That's what we call the child protector. That covers for 15 critical illnesses just for children anywhere between 0 to 21 years.
Next question. Is that the benefits gathered from 1 million to X amount? Could you walk me through, let's say, worst
critical illness policy is a critical illness policy is a unilateral agreement between you, the insurance company, stating that in the event that X is you're supposed to be diagnosed with X critical illness, Y amount is paid out regardless of how much treatment cost is. So I say regardless of how much treatment cost is to differentiate similarly with what I said before with a health insurance policy. Now, a health insurance policy is a health card, you can go down, pay a swipe, it pays a percentage of the total amount you have to get surgery.
8%.
Huh?
Yeah, that's the reason. 8% is paid for the medical. 8% was paid for drugs.
Yeah, and you pay 20% of the
Right.
Yeah, man, I used to.
So what I want to know is how does the critical illness work with a figure like that?
Alright, so the critical illness would not cover that, you know. The critical illness policy is actually paying out for you having a critical illness. So let's use a most common critical illness, cancer.
Right.
Cancer is a malignant tumor. That's what's listed on the critical illness policy. So in the event of you being diagnosed with a malignant tumor, that's cancer. The policy is paying out immediately regardless of how much it costs to treat. So you could be covered for, let's say, $8 million in critical illness, but then probably catch the cancer early, and you have your health insurance through work, or you have your personal health insurance, so the treatment costs, you just need to find $1 million. Even though your treatment cost is just $1 million, what's still paid out to you is what you're covered for on the critical illness policy, which is the full $8 million.
Next question. Lead it to our next question. All right. Suppose you have used up that 8 million for the cancer, right? Is that where the policy ends?
All right.
Or
So
not covered for anything else? Suppose a year down the road, diagnosed with diabetes and they have to amputate one of my legs.
the policy will terminate from when you claim on the cancer.
First
So
claim.
it's the first claim.
So you have to renew
Or get a new policy.
Start a new policy.
So you have to start a
Provided
new
you're
policy. So
on
that's
the
why,
policy.
exactly. So that's why you realize that most persons have more than one insurance policy. So alright, this year we take out a 2 million, so then I can get change a job. So when my income increases, I can take out the next 2 million. So you realize persons take out insurance on a gradual basis. So you have persons have 2, 4, 5, 6 different insurance policies through the duration of their lifetime. That answer the question? Okay. Policies also cover for personal accident, accidental death, and disablement, individual health insurance. So these are all types of insurance that are beneficial to your financial portfolio, beneficial to you building wealth. You have a next question?
It might be a dumb question, but question.
No questions are dumb.
If the person is have a critical illness or whatever, right, and then pass, can I still claim the critical illness money?
Alright, that's actually a very good question. Because a person might ask and say, alright, I would have been paying this policy all these years, and it's not even a critical illness kidneys are carrying me down the road, which still can be covered based on the technicalities. If it's an accident, in reality, you die from an accident. But separate and apart from that, if you don't pass away from the critical illness, two things can happen. Is that there's a return of premium. So all the premiums they would have paid for the policies is paid to whoever they have as a beneficiary on the policy. And second one is that a person might be diagnosed with a heart attack, but not a heart attack kill them. They get a stroke, and then due to complications from that's what leads to them passing away. The policy will then pay out at that time. So even though you never get the money while you are alive, is a heart attack kill you, is a stroke kill you. So the critical illness policy is still paid out to whoever you have as a beneficiary.
Okay.
That answer the question?
Yes.
Alright.
Can I ask one more?
Sure.
Is there a cutoff age actually get the money even though you have not made any claim at all.
Alright, so it's 20 years since when you take out the policy or at age 65, whichever comes first. So for example, if you take out the policy at age 50, that policy cuts off at age 65. So if you haven't made a claim for those 15 years, then there's a return of premium to you.
So it's premium return.
So it's a premium return.
So if you took it out at age 44, you can cash in at age 64.
You don't, what happens is that the policy is paid over 20 years, but you still get the coverage up until age 65. So it's whichever comes first. So if you take it out at age 30, you pay that policy for 20 years, you pay it up to age 50, but you still have insurance coverage up until age 65. When you reach that age, if you haven't made a claim on the policy, then there's a return of premium to you.
It's interesting though, they don't go over the age of 65.
Very interesting.
When the
Right?
critical illnesses are more prominent.
The entry score and 10 them don't
Alright, so on the final tips and takeaways, we said that investment allows your money to work for you. It's a wealth creation tool. For retirement planning, income at retirement age, which is what you have to calculate how much income today you're going to need, what plans you need to put in place for retirement. And then on the life insurance, leaving an inheritance for your family, and it's a protection in the event of any illnesses occur. Right? So, any questions? Or you guys would have asked any questions already? Yes.
I say it's illegal to take out an insurance policy on someone you don't recognize.
It is very
It's
illegal.
illegal. No, you're going to be there carrying it with me.
Okay, is there any other questions? Or did I touch everything? What's your watch?
Alright, can I go forward when you just started with investments and you were talking about stock and all of those things? With what happened the other day, most recently, is it SSL? Right. How do you know where it's safe to invest your money? One. Two, if you are not very familiar with stocks and the stock markets, to know when to buy and when to sell. I know they assign you maybe an agent, but all the agent does is tell you, oh, you make some money this week, or oh, we did not make any money, you lose that money this week. But the thing is, how do you trust the system? Because if you're investing to improve and then when you check on the investment 1 year later, you lose money. It's gone down. At what point do you say, okay, they're going to say, yeah, man, you must pay because the market was changed. It's just their word against yours. The little man like you doesn't understand anything about the stock market. We're lost. What do we do? If you find that you're losing, you put $1 million in something in an investment. The next year, oh, it's at 800. The next year, it's at 600. You're losing. So you're not necessarily improving in that investment. At what point do you say, okay, this is the time to come out? Or do I stay? Because they're going to tell you to stay.
That's a good question. Alright, so when we use the word investment, there's one word that we never use, and it's the word guarantee. There's nothing that's guaranteed with an investment. An investment is always you taking a risk with your money, right? So speaking to an advisor, they should be able to direct you to the right investment based on your goal. So if you're not a big risk taker, then stocks should never be a topic of discussion for you investing your money. Right? So things that are at low risk but still gives you some return, or what I would have mentioned before, which is mutual funds. Now, when everybody's money is pulled together into our mutual funds, the funds are managed by our fund managers. Right? Now, a fund manager, their duties, they have one job, and one job only is to make sure that the fund makes money. How they do that is by investing into various instruments, financial instruments. So for example, when you personally opening up a stock account and you want to buy and sell your stock out, you have that investment savvy. So you might buy one stock today and you realize that it's gone down and continues going down, but you never know, so there's something going on in the market because you're not in the market. With you investing into the funds, the fund managers are investing your money. So they are in the market, they know how to manage your money, they know how to invest the money, they're investing into the same stock market. Bear in mind that we have a real estate fund, they're investing into real estate. Foreign currency is doing good now, so they're investing into foreign currency as well. So what you realize is that you have a very diversified portfolio without you actually lifting a finger. So persons who are not that investment savvy, that's when we offer to them mutual funds, because that's a safer form of investment, especially when you're doing it on a long-term basis. Answer the question? Okay, you had a question earlier.
No, but I do have a question. No. I have Sagicor insurance, right? Question, is it hard to transfer it from the third party to straight on the Sagicor? I have an agent,
Oh yeah, if you're a brokerage?
I think, yeah.
There's a Sagicor policy, yeah?
Yes.
And it's still a Sagicor policy.
But I don't want to go through the broker anymore.
So you just transfer to a Sagicor advisor.
Okay. So I'm just need to come in and
Huh? It's not on her policy. The only thing that she is the only difference is that she's through a broker, but it's still a Sagicor policy she has. So she's still in Sagicor system. The third party really with her method of communication, which is with the broker, right?
I don't want to make changes to my policy, but I no longer want to use the broker.
So you need to do a change of advisor, or a change of agent.
So I need to come in to Sagicor to do that?
I mean, you can't get a
Somebody can be
contact.
recommended.
What was that?
Somebody can be recommended.
Somebody can be recommended. I'm sure there's someone here who works at Sagicor, right?
No.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah.
Yes, I have a question.
Oh, go ahead, ladies and first.
Suppose you were paying a pension plan, but it wasn't such a big one. But then you got a different job. You got a different job, and that job you're paying a bigger pension plan with that job. What happened to the first pension that you were?
Alright, so if you contribute into a pension, when you are leaving that job, they should give you a statement of your pension contributions over those years. If you're going to a next job, you have the option to transfer your contributions to your current pension. So your pension, it doesn't just automatically disappear like that. It's your contribution, whether it was you contributing $1,000 or $100,000, it's your contribution. So you have the option to transfer it into the new company's pension. It's transferable like
How
that.
did you go about that?
Alright, so you would have to, honestly, you have to talk to your employer, because they would have to provide that statement with your contributions, because your NIS number and all of those stuff would be on that. That's what would actually mean to do a transfer to a new pension.
And then just comment on that question. In certain areas, it says you must be seated. That means they have to be contributing for up to 5 years in that job for you to actually get qualified for a pension.
Alright, as you mentioned that, so your contributions are, so most employers, what they do is that they match what you contribute. But in order for you to get what they match is that there's a vested period. Some companies 3 years, some companies 5 years. If you leave before the 5 years or you leave before whatever vested period is there, then the only thing you're entitled to is your contributions. You can't get what they were gonna match because you have left before. So if they said that the vested age, the vested period is 5 years, but you leave on year 4, the only thing that they're entitled to pay back to you is the 4-year contribution. That's it.
Well, the money what they pay is not brought over.
No, they keep the money. That was just a benefit given that you're employed for us for 5 years. So alright, you would have given us 5 years of your life, let's match your pension contributions. That's simply it. So you leave a job after 10 years, what happens is that your contributions are paid to you, but their contributions are still held in the pension fund. So that's what you would transfer to the new pension. Any other question? I think you had a question earlier.
Simon had a question.
Oh yes.
Oh.
Yes, you had a question.
Yeah, we talk about some investment and I use investment compared to the bonus. Some people rather CD more than invest in what you call it.
In the stocks or in mutual funds?
In mutual funds. Is a CD really safe? And what's your take on it? Because my take is I don't know if you can put that on it. If by the time you get a little bit money from the CD, inflation is if you do the months.
Exactly so. Exactly so. And it's dependent on what the return is on a CD. And a CD doesn't really generate that high of a return. So it has some safety to it because what you put in, there's some money that will be generated on the CD. But the length of time that a certificate of deposit takes to pay back, by the time you get back in the investment, the interest is really not that great. Right, so persons try to shy away from CD, and unless it's a big, let's say you win $1,000 at 5%. Right, 5% on $1,000 is $50. It's so much. Right, as opposed to 5% on $1 million. So CDs, certificate of deposits, only are really beneficial to you when you're doing a large quantity investment. So anything over $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, tens, hundreds of millions, that's when a certificate of deposit will benefit you because that small percentage gain is still a lot based on the quantity that you have been invested.
So invested in stocks, if it's that is gain, will be quicker in terms of over the years we will see benefits escalation of prices might eat it out just the same as inflation.
Alright, with stocks, as I say, can be quick money. Because I'm sure everybody know what an IPO is. You would have heard of IPO, which is an initial public offering. So when a company is coming to the public market, they offer a percentage of their shares to the public, and you have the option of buying into the company. So IPO is a company, normally IPO at $1. So you invest $100,000 and say, all right, I have $100,000 Christmas bonus, that company is going to IPO, I buy it at $1. Right? Next day, or by the end of the week, you see the $1 stock move to $2. So your $100,000 gone to $200,000. And then you see gone to $2.50, that's $250,000. So you see your money growing. But the thing about the stock market is that the stock market is very, very, very volatile. Right? Volatile meaning that it's called a stock market for a reason. Effects of the surrounding of the market, what's happening in the economy, affects the performance of stocks. Right? So you might say, all right, this is that $2 now, can't lose. And then boom, the finance minister or some news happen, some fire happen at the business. You see the stock just start go down. You buy it at $1, now you get 80 cents. They say I lose money, gone down to 50 cents. Right? But there's really no loss on you because the only time they actually lose is when you pull out your money. Right? Because you can buy it at $1 and then tomorrow you see it gone down to 50 cents. And you say, no man, it must go back up. But buy more at 50 cents. And it gone back up to $1 and it gone back up to $2 and it dropped from $2 to $1 and you're buying more. You're still buying more because you're thinking on a long-term basis. Right? So the only time they actually lose money, when lose money is when you pull out your money. But once you still have a stock, right, that's still an investment that has the ability to grow. It's just that it's very volatile. So there's no guarantee. It's not guaranteed that you invest into an IPO, it must go $2 or you must make some money. You can invest an IPO and then tomorrow it can just go down and go down and down and down. Right? So there's no guarantee that you have to make some money off this investment. So that's why I said mutual funds have more safety because your funds are managed. It's not only your money you're investing his money, her money is being managed and invested.
So how trustworthy are you guys? I'm doing the mutual fund because I'm like,
Well, the funds are actually been performing, right? So we have various different funds. We can go into it in our one-to-one meetings, right? Because as I said, when investing is really what's on your goal. It's a personal investment plan for you. So it depends on how that you want to allocate your money. Just like with an insurance policy. Two persons might be earning the same income, right? Working in the same workplace, right? Two persons earning $200,000, but person A live with their parents, don't have no children, no wife, no mortgage, no rent, and the monthly expenses is probably just groceries on a monthly basis. So they have all this money can deal with investment, all this disposable income, as opposed to person B who earn the same $200,000, but you have 3 children, you have a wife, you have mortgage, you have car loan, you have 2 school fees, groceries. So his disposable income is far less. And this man can save 50 grand a month, but because of his expenses, he can only put away $10,000. Right? But his financial needs are still greater because he have more and more fee. If he's no longer in the picture, that's a loss of income for 3 persons. Right? So that's where insurance policy, you need that. Because if you're no longer here, how will the family survive? And vice versa with you, if your wife is no longer here, that's a loss of income for the whole household as well. So everybody needs insurance, pretty much plain and straight. Any other questions?
yeah, more. There's no crazy question.
Never a crazy question.
But this is a question coming from a crazy person. You mentioned Fanta. Can me as a client to the wealth advisor see Fanta moving, things going, booming, and call you and ask you, have you invested in Fanta with my money? Can we do that? Because maybe we see things going and we say, you know, when you like, as a matter of fact, we see it on the news every night, don't we? We watch the stock market going up and down. So can we call you and say, you must have put a light on our money to Fanta? Can we do that? Or is it your discussion?
Normally, if your advisor or the fund manager is very invested into the funds, then you really don't have a say of how they invest the money.
Okay.
But if you have a personal stock portfolio now, and you say, all right, I want to put some money, as a client, I want to put some money on a Fanta and stock because I can see how I can benefit. I like them as a company, and that's a different conversation because that's your personal financial portfolio. But in terms of investing, well, me personally, I don't do stocks.
Oh, okay.
I I don't invest in stocks for my clients. That's why you have to go in and actually open a stock account for that. But in
So you
terms
have
of
to go to somewhere like Barry.
Barrett or inside for investments, or you don't have to go to an investment house for them to do that for you. Because you have, when you open up a stock account, what's presented to you is that you get credentials through Jamaica Stock Exchange, right? And that's the platform that they use to buy and sell the stocks. So it's completely different from you coming to Sagicor and say, all right, I also invest in our investments. The fund's doing good and invest the money with you guys. All right. Any other questions, guys?
When you said the financial advisor choose what to invest in, do you guys invest in just one company or a group of companies?
Alright. So on the equity, with that fund, that's what we call our equity fund. Now, the equity fund is invested into, as a name, equities, which is the same place on this stock market. So we have blue chip stocks, which are like a Barrett and NCB in the financial sector. We have the manufacturing sector, the Cinco, Sepra, those manufacturing companies. So you realize is that your money is invested right across the board where the fund managers see fit. So it gives you that diversified portfolio that allows the portfolio to perform. So even if one stock is down, but the next stock is up, the portfolio still has that balance. So that's why it's a more safer form of investment. So your money is not like putting all your eggs in one basket. You have that diversification. So you have something you have over here, you have some potato, you have some sweet potato, you have some tomato, you have a nice diversification in the basket. Answer your question? Oh, okay. Any other questions?
I was actually giving the kitchen start sometime. That's what I was keeping entertained. Compared to your investments, tools that you use, how would you compare it to ICD capital?
Well, Sagicor is number 3 in terms of fund performance. And I'm not afraid to say this, that NCB is at number 2 and number 1 is at Barrett.
Okay.
So you don't even have to invest in Sagicor. As I said before, I'm here to just provide knowledge. I'm not here to sell anybody anything. I'm just providing knowledge. Right? So there are still companies who everybody, you have some person who just loyal to one place. Right, so if you have a JMB account, you just loyal to JMB. You want your car, you want a JMB. You want your market, a JMB. You want your investments, a JMB. So you just stay at one place. You have some person loyal to just one bank because that's the only bank that they know. So it's alright, NCB, I do everything with NCB. I don't want to get anywhere else. You have some persons, no matter how much you press them, the Sagicor will stay with. Sagicor, we know Sagicor can do everything. Sagicor do insurance, Sagicor do investment, Sagicor do saving, they can get credit card, all of those stuff. So persons are loyal to one place, but I believe in diversification. Right? Because diversification gives you options. Right? And you know, say, alright, if I don't really like how they're doing over there, I can just do my insurance at Sagicor. You know, so you can do investments. You have a little thing. You have a little thing everywhere. You have a little insurance at Guardian. You also have a little insurance policy at Guardian as well. You have an insurance policy at Sagicor. So we still have now coverage everywhere. It might not be great, but I give myself that protection. And I just put down everything in one place. Any other questions?
That's it for me.
Okay. Well, thanks for inviting me. I was able to provide some knowledge. Well, I'm hoping that I was able to provide some knowledge to everybody. And you've got my contact details. I'll give you some cards after. My personal number, my WhatsApp. I'm very easy to reach. You can ask David, you can call me.
That's your personal number?
That's my personal number. I don't have a work phone. I run a 24/7 business. I'm always online, always easy to reach, and I'm here to assist you if you have any questions, concerns. We can set up consultations, and we can just deal with everything. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Good night.
Put your hands together for Mr. Hector. Mr. Hector, can I ask a question? You don't have to tell me like that. What age group are you?
What age group am I?
You're past 30.
Oh.
You're big under 30. Very good. Put your hands together for this. It's great to see someone so young having such wealth of knowledge. Am I right? And we must say thank you, Mr. Edward, for tonight. To be honest, we were expecting more of our brethren, but if you notice, lively crowd, yeah, very lively crowd. And so, at this time, we are going to dismiss. I'm going to ask our president, Mr. Hepburn, could you come one more time? We have a special token for you. Can I ask Sister Joanna to come? One who will give the most trouble tonight.
No,
To
you
give-
beat me.
To give Mr. Hepburn this token. We really appreciate it, sir. We appreciate you taking the time out.
But you have to wait.
I am sure of your busy schedule. Anybody taking pictures?
Yes,
This is
yes.
a moment to want to remember.
Yes.
Yes. Although I'm sure Mr. Hepburn will be coming back, am I right?
Yes.
All right, go ahead. Jonah, you need to say something.
But thank you for coming tonight. I was the information was very good for me. I have been documenting. Everybody else was good? Yeah. Thank you for taking the time out to come out and give us this information. Thank you very much.
And I must say kudos to the brother with the